This subject is an evolving subject. There are no rules. There are fewer rules. But the question is, mankind has not been served by sustainability in the last 35, 40 years. The question is, what is the true path forward? And what will the rules look like so that everybody can adopt sustainability in their practices? So I think you will see a little bit of the divide between north, south, east, west in its combinations, the intensity of technology and so on. So I think it's not one solution and one size that fits all, but perhaps several solutions and several ideas that have to fit a local geography. So some of them we heard this morning, and I think it's a good start to this. By way of a background, I'm a practicing engineer. I'm not a scientist. And I'm also a quasi-academic as a result of the work that I have done in the last 35, 40 years in this area. And so my passion now, after retirement 3 years ago, is basically to continue in this whole area of renewable, sustainable energy, new forms of energy, and how do we integrate it to the grid. In fact, tomorrow I'll be talking about parts of that. The integration to the grid is what drives value to the front-end sources, whether it's solar, wind, biomass, anything. You can keep investing money in the source side, but if your grid is not optimized, your actual your value is decreased. So in India, we see that as a big problem. It's a problem in many parts of the world, and India is no exception in that. So while you add so much of solar and wind in this country, the grid has to take it, the grid has to transmit it, the grid has to distribute it, and it has to light your house. There's no point in having solar in Rajasthan and then nothing happening in the south, or wind in Tamil Nadu that nothing happens in Karnataka. So it's a big challenge. So that is where my background comes from. Very fortunate here to have, in fact, a diverse set of speakers. We have 3 sets of speakers and two oral presentations to be given after this. Each one, I'm told, would have about 20-25 minutes with a few question and answers. My vice chair here has agreed to hold the time, and he will get up and read the Riot Act if you don't.